Hello, hello. Welcome to Playful Prosperity. Thank you for joining me live and, of course, on the replay. Wherever you may be catching this broadcast, let me know you're here so that I can send you some love and, of course, answer any questions that you might have about today's broadcast. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Cindy. I am a quantum numerologist and wealth activator, and I am passionate about the creation of wealth on the planet. And I believe that comes through the hands of those who give a fuck. The healers, the coaches, the change makers, those of you who are out there creating impact. You're in the trenches doing the good work and creating a world full of wealth for each and every one of us. And it's time for you to have more wealth. And yes, that also includes money. So let's dive into today's conversation around prosperity, around wealth, and really understanding this from the perspective of the law of divine timing. So I'd like to share a story with you about myself a year ago. So a year ago, July 2020, I was in a position where I was working myself to the bone. I still believed, even though I had done a lot of this work, I still had a belief system that said that if I just worked a little harder, I would somehow break through, that I needed to sit in front of my computer for longer hours, that I needed to shut out parts of my personal life, that I needed to just push harder and harder and harder. I had created a mountain in front of myself. And many of you know the story of the mountain. There is no fucking mountain, but we'll dive into that. So July 2020, I was broke. I was struggling financially. I was living PayPal to PayPal. I was borrowing money from the bank of mom. I was doing better than I had been, but it still wasn't in a place where I felt like I was the creator of my own reality, where I was making enough money to be able to survive, and not only just survive, but thrive. I was still worried about paying bills. I was borrowing money from my mom at the end of the month to make sure that those bills were paid, and I was just struggling. And so I had this awareness, and this is the first piece of the law of divine timing. In that awareness, I realized, first and foremost, I'm broke. I didn't like the position that I was in. I was struggling. I didn't know how to make ends meet, and I knew that something needed to change. But in that awareness, I also recognized that I was willing to let myself have something new, that I was willing to look at my belief systems. I was willing to look at what hadn't been working, and in order to move into the next stage. So the next stage of the divine law of divine timing is acceptance. So I had this awareness, I'm broke. I don't like this. I'm not happy with this. I want something different. And then the acceptance came of, I created this reality. I'm broke because I have belief systems that don't support creating wealth. I'm broke because I am not working in congruence with the laws of the universe. I'm working in congruence with my physical reality, which wasn't great. Excuse me, there's a lot of smoke in my area, so I'm coughing a little bit. And so in this acceptance, I had to really give myself permission to look at what I had created. And I didn't like what I saw. And so there was a lot of judgment came up. There was a lot of comparison that came up. There was a lot of habits that I had created for myself that I didn't love. And so in that, it was time for me to choose, which leads me to the third stage of the law of divine timing, which is self-responsibility. And oftentimes when working with the law of divine timing, we want to skip over all these parts because nobody really wants to admit that they created their own reality when they don't love their reality, right? We want to try to blame it on someone else or blame it on our circumstances or blame it on the economy, whatever we can blame it on that's not ourselves, right? But I had looked at and I knew people who were thriving. And so I also knew that I could create something different for myself without blaming it on someone else. So self-responsibility is about pulling up the big girl panties or big boy pants and shifting, of choosing something different. So in August of 2020, I woke up in the middle of the night and downloaded the words quantum numerologist and wealth activator. And my mind went, well, what the hell does that even mean? I don't know what that means. And instead of going, oh, that's nothing, I wrote it down. And I decided to lean into it. I made a decision that I was willing to lean into it and explore it with curiosity. And in choosing, in the choice to be curious about wealth, there were some things I had to look at. And when we pull up our big pants and really look at things and start taking responsibility instead of blaming them, right? Cue Shaggy's, it wasn't me, right? When we start looking at these things, when we start bringing our awareness to it, and when we start saying, yep, I did that and I love and accept myself anyway, we create a different timeline. So in the choice of choosing to align with wealth, of deciding I am wealthy, less than a year later, I can say that to be true in my physical reality. Not only with money, but with my health, my vitality, my relationships, my relationship to my work, all of these pieces. And it came from a choice in August of 2020. I am wealthy. It's all it is. And it seems so simple, it's ridiculous. I've been having these conversations with numerous clients over the last couple of weeks, and I'm getting the response of, yeah, but Cindy, it can't be that easy. There's got to be more to it. There isn't. The universe works in simple ways. Complication is not the way of the universe. It is easy. If you want something, first and foremost, be aware of what you want, and then accept your current reality for what it is and love yourself through it, and then choose what you want. It is that simple. And when you choose, then it's important to recognize the actions that you're taking. So for me, the actions that I was taking from a place of worry and lack of safety and not feeling like I had enough money, I was making decisions that were creating a harsh work environment, poor relationships, poor health, all of these pieces. It was creating actions. I was choosing actions based on that mindset of I'm not enough. And so therefore, nothing's enough. Not my bank account, not my health, not my relationships, nothing. And so in that choice, I chose to believe that I was enough. And I made decisions and I took actions from the place of I love myself, I am wealthy, and I am enough. Now, some of the actions were exactly the same, but it was the energy behind those actions that changed. So, whatever it is that you want in your life, are you willing to let yourself have it? Are you willing to accept the fact that you've created your current reality, and will you forgive yourself for that? And then, will you choose to have it? The choice is everything. Life is happening through you as you. It is not happening to you. The economy has nothing to do with your material reality. Nothing. Everything to do with how you feel about money on the inside. So check in with your beliefs today. Check in with what's going on. If you don't have what you want right now, are you willing to choose differently? I love you. I believe in you, and I see your power. Have an amazing day.